Hi, I'm Stella Crouch. I'm here with the filmmakers of Yellow Lines. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your film?
Sure, yeah. My name's Carly, and I wrote and produced with Kristen here the pilot for our series Yellow Lines. So our pilot's screening at the festival this upcoming Tuesday and Thursday.
Yeah, so it is about two roommates who go through some relationship ups and downs, let's say, without giving too much away in a 12-minute pilot. And we filmed it across, I think, 4 days, I'm pretty sure, with over various locations in New York City, so it was a lot of fun.
And when did you first get the idea for the film, and was it together, or was it individually, or?
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of something that was rolling around in my head for a little bit. Just Kristen and I did used to be roommates, so it is loosely based on us and our relationship together and all that. But of course, dramatized for the entertainment of all. And so when we were in lockdown during the pandemic, I just had a lot of time on my hands, so I started writing it. But the idea had been floating around for a little bit before that. Yeah.
So you guys both wrote this and directed it, correct? Or?
So Carly wrote it, but I was the idea bouncer, and I did a lot of editing on it as well. But then we both produced it, and our good friend directed it separately. So we weren't wearing like about 4 hats or something like that, but just a couple.
Still a lot.
still a lot, but it was a good learning experience. A lot of the shots that we did, there's only about like one scene we were together, and then the rest of them were separate. So we actually got to wear the producing hat a bunch because we had to see each other in different, scenarios there. So.
And we're also the leads in the pilot as well. So we acted on it as well. Yeah. Yeah, couple hats.
So you guys said it took you like 4 days, like during the filming. How long, like afterwards, did it take to like pull it all together and do like a lot of the work on it and stuff afterwards?
Yeah. So our budget for the pilot was pretty bare bones, so we didn't really have money for an editor. So I went to YouTube University and I learned a lot of working in Adobe Premiere Pro. I learned how to kind of get us into picture lock and all that kind of stuff. That took maybe about like 2 months of work on it to get us there for a 12-minute pilot. And we're also crowdfunding right now for our entire first season. So we filmed the pilot last spring, and now we're getting ready to shoot the rest of the first season. Everything's written, and our team is ready and assembled, and we just need to be able to get the budget together, and then we'll be ready to go. So we're on Seed and Spark. The project is Yellow Lines. You can check us out there.
And come see it at the Winter Film Awards, along with plenty of other films.
How you doing?
Why don't you tell us a little bit about your film?
Yeah, the name of the film is Finding Light. It's a documentary film about a Holocaust survivor named Naomi Warren and how her relationship with a choreographer named Stephen Mills developed a dance work called Light, the Holocaust and Humanity Project. So it's kind of a part historical documentary, part dance documentary.
So is it based on a historical story then, or is it more like historical fiction?
Definitely not historical fiction. So it's Naomi Warren's story, essentially. She went through 3 concentration camps. Most of her family sadly perished, but she made it through. And so it's basically when she met Stephen Mills in 2004, that started a kind of a friendship there. And Stephen is not Jewish, but she felt that he had this platform to raise awareness about what happened to her, and just sort of the universal message of, against bigotry and hatred, essentially. And so the film is sort of documenting that story.
When did you get the idea for this film, or what's your connection to the story?
Well, so I have a very personal connection. I was actually a dancer in the original cast way back in 2005. So this was something that was always very important to me. Dance can be a very selfish, very self-motivated thing. You're always looking at yourself in the mirror all day, fixing yourself. It's all about you. This piece was so much larger than myself. It was the message of it was so much bigger. And so just to be a part of something that felt more important always meant a lot to me. So when I turned to filmmaking later in life, it just made sense for me to come back to this.
Did you do a lot of the writing or when producing, or what was sort of what kind of hats did you wear during the whole production process?
I wore a lot of hats. I was the director, producer, editor, and a lot of the research as far as I dug through hundreds of hours of archival footage from the 20s and 30s, as well as all the dance stuff that they had for about 20 years worth of material.
So did you do any like traveling for these to find things in archives and stuff, or contact like random people, or tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so the main ballet company is Ballet Austin, which is in Austin, Texas. But we had footage. We had stuff from Jerusalem and Tel Aviv and Akko from festivals that were that performed the work. Some of it was actually in New York. There was an excerpt called Ashes that was performed at the Joyce Theater. And of course Austin, and then there was other companies, Colorado Ballet, Nashville Ballet, and Pittsburgh Ballet Theater also performed it. So we had interviews with some of the dancers from those locations as well. So we went around a bit.
Come see Finding Light at the Winter Film Awards.